fusion, the combination of a different strength into one device. And that's exactly the idea behind the new Motorola Edge 70 Fusion. Motorola brings together an extremely bright 144Hz display, a massive 7000 mAh battery, clean software, and solid cameras, all packed into a pretty slim design. On paper, that sounds like one of the most interesting mid-range smartphones right now. But how well does this overall package actually perform in daily use? That's exactly what we're gonna take a closer look at. Motorola stays true to its design language, once again focusing on a slim, elegant look with a strong emphasis on ergonomics. What's especially impressive here is the combination of size, weight, and battery. Despite the 7000 mAh battery, the device remains under 8mm thin and weighs in around 193 grams, which feels noticeably lighter in the hand than expected. The back features a textured nylon or linen-like finish that not only stands out visually, but is also functional. It provides excellent grip and is far less prone to fingerprints compared to the traditional glass bags. The frame is made of plastic, but feels well built and fits nicely into the overall package. The buttons are well placed and offer a satisfying tactile response. On top of that, you get strong durability ratings, IP68 and 69, as well as military standards. That means the device is well protected against water, dust, and even harsher conditions. Now, the fingerprint sensor is embedded into the display. It's fast and reliable, although positioned slightly low, which you might notice in everyday use. The display is clearly one of the highlights of the smartphone. Now we're looking at a 6.78-inch extreme AMOLED panel with a resolution of 2772 by 1272 pixels, delivering excellent sharpness. One of the standout features is the refresh rate of up to 144 Hz, making everything feel incredibly smooth. Scrolling, animations, and especially gaming benefit noticeably from this. Colors are very natural thanks to Pantone validation and don't look overly saturated or washed out. Blacks are deep, contrast is strong, exactly what you would expect from an AMOLED panel. You also get HDR10+ support, which enhances content on platforms like Netflix and YouTube. Another major highlight is the brightness, with up to 5200 nits. Peak brightness. This is one of the brightest displays in its class and remains easily readable even under direct sunlight. The experience is rounded off by some stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos. They get loud, stay relatively clear, and offer good spatial sound. For videos, music, and gaming, this is a very strong overall package. Now let's take a closer look at the performance, especially when it comes to gaming. Inside the Motorola Edge 70 Fusion, you will find the Snapdragon 7S Gen 3 paired with 8 GB of RAM. And this combination delivers consistently smooth performance in everyday use. Apps launch quickly, multitasking is stable, and even during longer sessions, there are no noticeable slowdowns. When it comes to gaming, you can clearly tell that this sits in the upper mid-range. Games like Call of Duty Mobile or PUBG run without issues, often with higher settings and stable frame rates. The 144Hz display adds an extra layer of smoothness, making gameplay feel especially responsive. For more graphical demanding titles, you may need to lower the settings slightly to maintain consistently high FPS, but overall, gaming performance is absolutely solid. Thermal performance is also a strong point. Even during longer gaming sessions, the device stays relatively cool and shows minimal throttling, which speaks to the efficiency of the chip. This is further supported by a clean software which avoids unnecessary background processes and helps maintain stable performance. When it comes to the features and software, the Motorola Edge 70 Fusion delivers a very well-rounded experience. It runs on Android 16 and a near-stock version, which you immediately notice in daily use. The system feels clean, intuitive, and comes completely free of unnecessary bloatware. This is a big reason why the phone feels so fast and responsive. Motorola only adds useful features that actually improve everyday usability. These include the well-known Moto gestures like quickly turning on the flashlight with a shopping motion or opening the camera by twisting your wrist. These work reliably and quickly become second nature. On top of that, you get modern AI features through Google Gemini, which are becoming more deeply integrated. These include things like smart text suggestions, image editing tools, and general assistant features, including Moto AI, which can simplify everyday tasks. The camera app also benefits from a range of software features, including automatic night mode, AI enhancements, portrait optimizations, a pro mode, and various AI-powered editing tools via Google Photos, including Magic Editor and background blur. For security, you get an in-display fingerprint sensor and face unlock, both of which work reliably. Motorola also includes ThinkShield for additional security layers. Connectivity is fully up to date as well, including dual SIM with eSIM support. The Edge 70 Fusion comes with 256 gigs of internal storage, of which about 27 gigs are already used up by Android 16, so that's roughly 10%. So that's alright. The biggest highlight of the smartphone is clearly the battery. 7000 mAh is still quite rare in this form factor and delivers excellent endurance in daily use. Even with heavy usage, getting through a full day is no problem, and often you can push well beyond that. With moderate use, 2 days are definitely realistic. Charging is handled via 68 watts turbo power, which keeps charging times reasonable despite the larger battery. You can get the device close to fully charged in under an hour. However, wireless charging is missing, which isn't unusual in this price range. For the camera, Motorola goes with a dual setup focused on everyday usability. Now, the main camera features a 50 megapixel Sony Letia 710 sensor with optical image stabilization, paired with a 30 megapixel ultra-wide camera offering a 120-degree field of view and macro functionality. The main camera delivers very pleasing results in good lighting conditions with solid sharpness and natural colors. Things get more interesting at night, where the performance is more of a mixed bag. Looking at the night shots, it's clear that the Edge 70 Fusion captures a lot of light and often makes scenes appear noticeably brighter than they actually are. Buildings, streetlights, and illuminated areas look vibrant and stand out nicely, creating visually impressive shots at first glance. At the same time, you can see that the camera applies fairly aggressive sharpening, which artificially enhances details. This is especially noticeable in trees or fine structures, where the image can appear slightly noisy and less natural. Dark areas are often brightened significantly, which reveals more detail, but also reduces overall depth and contrast. This effect becomes even more pronounced with the ultra-wide camera. Images remain usable, but lose visible detail in dynamic range. There's no dedicated zoom lens, and digital zoom quickly results in softer, less usable images. On the positive side, video stabilization is very good, even at night, producing smooth footage. However, video recording is limited to 4K at 30 FPS, which is acceptable for this price range, but not outstanding. The front camera does a good overall job, although in low light you will notice some smoothing of skin tones and reduced fine detail. Overall, the camera delivers bright, eye-catching images at night that work well for social media, but if you're looking for maximum detail and a more natural look, you will clearly see its limitations. Now, the Motorola Edge 70 Fusion is a very strong overall package in the mid-range segment. The display and battery life in particular stand out and rank among the best in this category. On top of that, you get clean, fast software and solid performance for everyday use. The camera delivers good results, especially in daylight, but still has room for improvement in low light. Overall, this is a smartphone that excels in everyday usage and plays to its strengths there. If you value long battery life, a great display, and clean software, the Edge 70 Fusion is definitely one of the most interesting options right now.